Welcome you all on this today's session. So I will explain about steam turbines. So in that I will discuss introduction about steam turbines. Steam turbines belong to power generating turbo machines which uses steam as a working fluid. Steam turbines mainly used in coal-fired thermal power plants or nuclear power plants in order to produce the steam. So this high pressure steam is a working fluid in turbines. That means energy exchange occurs between this high pressure steam and rotating elements. And finally, the mechanical energy is produced or obtained in end of the turbine shaft. So this turbine shaft is coupled with the generator in order to produce electricity. So in steam turbines, the steam has a working fluid. In steam turbines, high pressure, high temperature steam from the boiler is expanded in nozzle. So initially the enthalpy drop occurs in a nozzle. So thereafter the high velocity steam is supplied to the rotor. So now energy exchange occurs in this rotating element and the flowing steam. So here in which the enthalpy of the steam being converted into kinetic energy. So in a nozzle, this high pressure steam is get converted into low pressure steam that causes what the kinetic energy is obtained here. Thus, the steam at high velocity from the nozzle impinges over the moving blades. It is also called as rotors, which cause to change the flow direction of steam and thus cause a tangential force on the rotor blades. So due to this dynamic action between rotor and the steam, the shaft work is developed. A steam turbine is basically an assembly of nozzles fixed to a stationary casing and rotating blades mounted on the wheels attached on a shaft in a row-wise manner. Steam turbines are employed as the prime movers together with the electric generators in thermal and nuclear power plants to produce electricity. They are also used to propel large ships, ocean liners, submarines, and to drive power absorbing machines like large compressors, blowers, fans, and pumps. Next, what are the classifications of steam turbines? The first classification based on action of flow. So according to this, the steam turbines are classified as impulse turbine, reaction turbine, or impulse reaction turbine. So here impulse turbine means the enthalpy drop occurs in nozzle itself. So in impulse turbine, there is no enthalpy drop in moving blades. In reaction turbine, the enthalpy drop occurs both in fixed blade as well as moving blades. Then impulse reaction turbine is a combination of both impulse turbine as well as reaction turbine. So according to the direction of flow, the turbines are classified as first one axial flow turbine, second one radial flow turbine, third one mixed flow turbine, fourth one tangential flow turbine. So third classification based on the steam pressure, either it may be high pressure turbine or low pressure turbine, then medium pressure turbine. So according to the exhaust condition of steam, turbines are classified as condensing type of turbine and non-condensing type of turbines. And one more classification, the based on according to the number of stages. So either it may be single stage turbine or multi-stage turbine. The single stage turbine, the example for that one, the level turbine, and multi-stage turbines are based on either it may be multiple velocity stage turbine or multiple pressure stage turbines. The example for multiple velocity stage turbine is Curtis turbine. The example for multiple pressure stage turbine is Rettive turbine. So these are the classification of steam turbines. Next, what are the difference between impulse and reaction steam turbines? See the construction of the impulse and reaction steam turbines. So the arrangement of the nozzle and moving blades or rotating blades in impulse turbine. There is a figure 6.1 that shows construction of the impulse turbine. So there is a nozzle. Now steam from the boiler at higher pressure is supplied through the nozzle. So then it is flowing through the rotating or moving blades. So here in impulse turbine, the construction of the blades are symmetrical one. The construction of the blades are symmetrical. So now high pressure steam enters into the nozzle. Now pressure drop occurs in a nozzle. That means it is also called as what? Called as the enthalpy drop in a nozzle. So then that causes the increasing that pressure energies get converted into kinetic energy. Now fluid is get exited at higher velocity from the nozzle exits. In that higher velocity, the steam is flowing through the rotating element of this moving blades. So that causes the rotation of the moving blades that is connected to the turbine shaft. See here the PV diagram is a pressure and velocity diagram for this impulse turbine. See here the steam is entered at higher pressure, that is called as a boiler pressure. The boiler pressure is very high. Now the pressure drop occurs in nozzle, and that will cause us the increase in velocity. So initially velocity of, so this is the inlet velocity of the fluid to the nozzle. So then fluid is get exited from the nozzle from the higher velocity. Say in impulse turbine, so once the fluid or steam enters into the moving blades, then the pressure remains constant. So here in this moving blade, the pressure remains constant. So then it is get exited to the condenser. So that pressure is called as condenser pressure. So now see about the variation of the velocity in a moving blades. So now this pressure energy is get converted into kinetic energy. That causes there is a rise in velocity of the fluid. In that higher velocity the fluid is flowing or steam is flowing to the moving blades, then the velocity drops. The velocity drop occurs in a moving blades, then it is get exited here. That is called as what? The exit velocity of the fluid. Exit velocity of the fluid. So this one shows what the arrangement of the nozzle and the moving blades in the impulse turbine and variation of the pressure and velocity in a fixed as well as moving blades. See the construction of the reaction turbine. The figure 6.2 that shows construction of the reaction turbine. So here there is a nozzle and here it is connected with the moving blades as well as the stator blades. There is a moving blades as well as stator or fixed blades. So here blades are not symmetrical. The aerofoil shape is given to the construction for the construction of the blades here. So next, see the variation of the pressure and velocity of the steam while it is flowing through the moving blades as well as the fixed blades. So initially the steam is supplied to the nozzle at the nozzle inlet at higher pressure. So then pressure drop occurs in nozzle. Correct. Pressure drop occurs in nozzle. So then fluid, the steam is flowing through the moving blades. So once again we can observe the drop in pressure in a moving blade, so as well as in fixed blade. Correct. That means in this reaction turbine the pressure is not constant. Correct. But in case of impulse turbine the pressure drop occurs only in nozzles. So thereafter there is no pressure drop. The pressure remains constant, but in case of reaction turbine the pressure drop occurs continuously in both in fixed blade as well as moving blades. See the variation of the velocity in reaction turbine. So this one is the inlet velocity, and due to the drop in pressure the velocity will increase in nozzle. So then in that higher velocity fluid enters into the moving blades. So here the drop in pressure drop in velocity occurs here. So once again in the fixed blade, so there is a drop in pressure that causes what increase in velocity. So then finally it is get exited here. So this sketch shows what the variation of the pressure as well as velocity in reaction turbine as well as impulse turbine. So in impulse turbine, the enthalpy drop or pressure drop completely occurs in the nozzle itself and no pressure drop when the fluid passes over the moving blades. In reaction turbines, addition to the pressure drop occurs in the nozzle or fixed blade. There will also be pressure drop occur when the fluid passes over the rotor blades. So these are the basic difference between impulse turbine as well as reaction turbine. So next topic is differences between impulse and reaction turbine. So see this tabular column, the left hand side is provided with the impulse turbine and the right hand side mentioned as reaction turbine. The first difference between these two turbines is in impulse turbine, the complete expansion of the steam takes place in the nozzle and steam is ejected with very high kinetic energy. So in case of impulse turbine, the pressure drop occurs both only in nozzle. So then it is converted into high kinetic energy. But in case of reaction turbine, the partial expansion of the steam takes place in the fixed blade, that is acting as a nozzle, and further expansion takes place in the rotor blades. In case of impulse turbine, the blades are symmetrical in shape, but in reaction turbine, the blades are non-symmetrical. It is made in the shape of aerofoil section. Pressure remains constant between the ends of the moving blades and relative velocity remains constant, that is VR1 is equals to VR2 in case of impulse turbine, but in reaction turbine the relative velocity at outlet is not equals to relative velocity at inlet. So always here the relative velocity at exit is more than relative velocity at inlet. For that reason VR2 is greater than VR1. Steam velocity at the inlet of the machine is very high, hence needs compounding. So in case of impulse turbine, the compounding is necessary. In reaction turbine, the steam velocity at the inlet of machine is moderate or low, hence does not require compounding. The blade efficiency is comparatively low, but in case of reaction turbine, the blade efficiency is high. The few number of stages required for a given pressure drop or power output and machine is compact. The more number of stages required for a given pressure drop or power output and machine is bulky. So these impulse turbines are used for small power generations, but in larger power stations these reaction turbines are used. So these impulse turbines are suitable where the efficiency is not a matter of fact, but the reaction turbines are suitable when the efficiency is a matter of fact. So these are the differences between impulse and reaction turbine. Next topic, need for compounding of steam turbines. So if the steam pressure drops from boiler pressure to condenser pressure in a single stage, the exit velocity of steam from the nozzle will become very high and the turbine speed will be order of 30,000 rpm or more. So as turbine speed is proportional to steam velocity, the carryover loss or leaving loss will be more, say that is in the range of 10% to 12%. So due to this very high speed, the centrifugal stresses are developed on the turbine blades, resulting in blade failure. So in order to overcome all these difficulties, it is necessary to reduce the turbine speed by the method of compounding. That means the compounding is defined as it is the method of reducing blade speed for a given overall pressure drop. So next, what are the various methods of compounding of steam turbines? The following are the methods of compounding of steam turbines. The first one is a velocity compounding, second one is pressure compounding, and third one is pressure and velocity compounding. Now first one is velocity compounding. See the variation of the pressure and velocity in velocity compounding. See here PV diagram. The PV means the pressure and velocity diagram. See the arrangement of this fixed blade as well as a moving blades. So there is a nozzle. So then moving blades, then fixed blade, and another one is moving blade. So now initially the pressure drop occurs in a nozzle. So initially the steam is supplied to the nozzle, so that is inlet to the nozzle. The pressure drop or enthalpy drop occurs in a nozzle. So in later, say in a moving blades and fixed blades, the pressure remains constant. So due to the drop in pressure, the velocity will rise. Correct. So initial velocity is minimum, and due to the decrease in pressure, there is a rise in velocity to the higher value. So in that higher velocity, the steam enters into the moving blades. So here we can observe what the drop in velocity. Then that steam exited from the moving blade enters into the fixed blade. So here the pressure almost remains constant. So once again the velocity decreasing in moving blades. So this one shows what the variation of the pressure as well as the velocity in a velocity compounding steam turbines. In velocity compounding, so it consists of a set of nozzles and a rotating wheel fitted with two or more rows of moving blades. So one row of fixed blades fitted between the rows of moving blades. The function of the fixed blade is to direct the steam coming from the first row of moving blades to the next row of moving blades without appreciable change in velocity. Steam from the boiler expands completely in the nozzle and overall pressure energy converts into kinetic energy. The kinetic energy of steam gained in the nozzle is successively absorbed by rows of moving blades and steam is exited from the last row axially with very low velocity. So due to this, the rotor speed decreases considerably. The velocity compounded impulse turbine is also called the Curtis turbine stage. Next, the second method of compounding, that is pressure compounding. In pressure compounding, so pressure drop, say initially the pressure is very high, the initial pressure drop occurs in a nozzle. So then the pressure remains constant in moving blades. So once again it is the pressure drop occurs in a nozzle. So then pressure remains constant in moving blades. So there are two set of blades here. There is a nozzle and a moving blade one set, and one more set is connected here. There is one more nozzle and moving. There is a second stage. Correct. See the variation of the velocity here. So initial the inlet velocity is minimum. So due to the drop in pressure, there is a rise in velocity occurs. So then this energy is transferred to the shaft or to the rotating blades. So once again in a nozzle, so here the drop in pressure occurs and that causes what? There is a rise in velocity. So once again that velocity decreasing in moving blades. So this one, there is a fluid or the steam is get exited at minimum velocity. Minimum velocity from the steam turbine. So that shows what the variation of the pressure as well as velocity in pressure compounding. So in steam, the steam from the boiler is passed through the first set of nozzles in which it is partially expanded. Steam then passes over the first row of moving blades where almost all its velocity is absorbed. This completes expansion of steam in one stage. In the next stage, steam again enters the second set of nozzles and partially expands and enters the moving blades. So again the steam velocity is absorbed. This process continues till steam reaches the condenser pressure. So due to pressure compounding, smaller transformation of heat energy into kinetic energy takes place. Hence, steam velocities become much lower and rotor speed decrease considerably. The pressure compounded impulse turbine is also called the retive stage turbine. Next, the third method of compounding is known as pressure velocity compounding. So this is a combination of both velocity compounding and pressure compounding. So here this nozzle and moving blade that comprises the first stage, this fixed blade and moving blade that is called as the second stage, and once again one more nozzle and moving blade that is called a third stage here, and then fixed blade and moving blade that is called a fourth stage. Correct. See the variation of this pressure and velocity. So initially the steam is supplied at higher pressure to the nozzle. So then pressure drop occurs in this nozzle. Correct. The pressure drop occurs only in nozzle. So then pressure remains constant. So then once it is get exited from the second stage, so then once again that steam enters into the nozzle. So now we can observe there is a drop in pressure in a nozzle. Thereafter it is moving to the moving blades, then to the fixed blades as well as moving blades. So once again here the pressure remains constant. So this arrangement is known as the velocity compounding. See the variation of the velocity. See initial velocity of the fluid is minimum. So due to the drop in pressure in a nozzle that causes the rise in velocity. So now steam is flowing through the moving blades. So now all its velocity is absorbed by this moving blade. So then it is flowing. Once it is get exited from the moving blade, so then it is flowing to the fixed blade. So here in fixed blade, the velocity remains constant. So because there is no change in pressure here. There is no change in pressure. The pressure is also remains constant. The function of this fixed blade is to direct the steam from the first stage of the moving blade to the second stage of the moving blade. So that work is carried out by this fixed blade. So then after exit from the fixed blade or after passing through the fixed blade, the fluid enters into the moving blade. So once again we can see the drop in velocity. So later this exit stream enters into the nozzle. So once again we can see the variation of the velocity. So because there is a drop in pressure occurs in the nozzles that causes the rise in velocity of the steam. So then that higher velocity steam enters into the moving blades and all its energy is absorbed by that moving blades. So then flowing to the fixed blade, the velocity remains constant and flowing to the moving blades. Once again, its velocity get dropped on this session, and finally, this steam is get exited from the turbine at very low velocity. So that means, so here, so this is a combination of both pressure compounding as well as velocity compounding. For that reason, it is called as pressure velocity compounding. So if pressure and velocity are both compounded using two or more number of stages by having a series arrangement of simple velocity compounded turbines on the same shaft is known as pressure velocity compounding. In this type of turbine, so both pressure compounding and velocity compounding methods are used. The total pressure drop of steam is dividing into two stages and the velocity obtained in each stage is also compounded. Pressure drop occurs only in nozzles and remains constant in moving and fixed blades. That means in this session we studied about the introduction about steam turbines. What are the applications of these steam turbines? The later part we studied about what are the classifications of steam turbines. Then differences between this impulse turbine as well as reaction turbines. And we studied about, so what do you mean by compounding? So what are the various methods of compounding and what is the pressure and velocity variation in these various methods of compounding? Thank you.